Hi everyone, welcome to Apis Aurea Atelier. I am Mel. There is only one way to get very good at something, and that is practice. Last year I started my sewing adventure. As a beginner, it can be frustrating when the things that you want to make don't go as well as you planned, and they aren't as perfect as you imagined. With every project you make, you learn new things. And reflecting on what you did enables you to improve on your craft. The garments I'm going to show you aren't historically accurate. The first two projects were for a LARP I was going to attend. Obviously, they are beginners' projects and of course they have many mistakes, but I am very happy with them. So, without further ado, let's begin.
My first ever sewing project was a medieval shirt. Since it was my very first time sewing something, I decided to use a cheap 100% cotton fabric. It's a bit stiff and rough though. I also decided to do a mock-up. Best decision ever because I ended up doing 4 mock-ups. The main issue was the bulkiness below the armhole. The usual way of making a shirt like this is with squares and rectangles, and the lack of curves in the arms causes the bulkiness. Plus, the cotton I was using made the problem worse. I tried my best to solve the issue by draping the form of the arm and sew it. Yes, I didn't cut it. I just sewed the form. This is a project I want to revisit in the future and improve it.
The idea is to wear this under a gambeson, so despite this it's not perfect, no one is going to see it.
To refine my shirt making skills, I made another one. Unfortunately, it doesn't fit me anymore, but I will make it bigger in the future. Next project was a pair of trousers. This time I thought it was going to be easier because I had a pattern I could use. That's why I didn't dare to do a mock-up. If I had, then I would have realized that the pattern had a low waistband and I wanted it to be higher. Also, the legs felt a bit too narrow. Plus, I had to dye the fabric, which was a nightmare. Also, I made this by hand. It was my first time doing them, and I think they came out very well. I added fabric to the waistband, and one of my friends suggested that I could add a triangular strip of fabric to both sides of the trousers. So I did, and it worked. As a final touch, I embroidered the sides, and it was ready. Now, I wanted this gown to be dark blue, but I couldn't find fabric of that color, so I decided to dye it. However, I underestimated the amount of fabric to dye, and realized a little too late that my pot wasn't big enough. After several tries, I dyed it properly. Even though the dyeing was a complicated mess, I am very happy with the fitting. Of course, I made a shift to wear under the dress, using another type of cotton this time, softer to the skin. As an overdress, I made a red cyclas. Currently, it has no facings, but I will add them later. The last garment I made was a walking skirt, because I wanted something warm and cozy to wear during the winter. I chose this wool blend fabric and the same cotton I've used in the first projects as lining. The pattern I used was the Truly Victorian 291. First, with the lining fabric I made a mock-up. I had to adjust the waist length and the hemline. Also added 1.5 centimeters on each side because I wanted pleats in the back. but with the adjustment in the waist, they wouldn't be achievable according to my math if I would have left the original measurements. After I was satisfied with the mock-up, I proceeded to cut the fashion fabric. If you are new to sewing like me and you wanna make this skirt, I highly recommend this truly Victorian pattern. The instructions are very clear and it's easy to piece it together. Again, the waistband was the difficult part. This time because the wool is thick, so it's very hard to sew through and it creates bulks. I had to redo 3 times the waistband until I came up with the best solution. Fold the outside edges, attach the band, and not fold the inside edges. I'm gonna try another way to attach the waistband for the skirt I'm making for spring/summer. I'll post a video about it, so stay tuned. Despite the problems with the waistband, the skirt turned out very good and I am very happy with the result. It's very heavy, but it's great to wear when it's cold and it feels like wearing a blanket.
And this concludes my adventures of my first year in the sewing world. It was a roller coaster of emotions, but I learned a lot and I am very happy with what I made. If you like this video and you would like to see more, please make sure to like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. Stay safe and see you soon in another video. Bye bye.